Welcome everyone to my LinkedIn live streaming. We have a saying in Chinese. My name is XIAO-YU Cheng, and you may call me XIAO-YU. Please feel free to share in the chat window where you are watching from, how you, and also during my sharing later, I would love to hear from you, how you resonate, what do you think, agree, or maybe you don't agree, right? Or how it inspired you thinking about, your stories or something. And let me see, I see Nicholas. Hello from Berlin. Good to see you again, Nicholas. Thank you for being here. So for the people who's first time watching this, I'm a leadership and intercultural transition coach and also business consultant. So for sure, you can find more details about my work, my background on my LinkedIn profile or my website. And this is series on LinkedIn I'm doing here, the live streaming series. We have a saying in Chinese. So every Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Europe time, I come up live with a Chinese saying. Could be a phrase, old saying, or a simple Chinese word. So I come here to share the language, the culture, the wisdom behind, but also together with my reflections and thought around that Chinese saying and on the topics about leadership, intercultural transition for individuals, business, or simply general personal or professional growth or development. So why I'm here is here to share and also start a conversation. Enough said. So today, the phrase I want to share with you is 恒变即不变. Literal translation is constant change is non-changing. So quick explanation about the characters. 恒 we can understand like forever, eternal, continuous. And 变 is changes, could be verb or noun. And the 即 is like namely in English. It is 不 no or not, 变 change. So constant change, continuous non-stopping change, actually it is never change, right? So probably many of you are familiar with the English saying. The English version of it is the only constant in life is change. Indeed, everything is evolving and constantly changing. And today, I especially want to talk about flexible leadership. What to be flexible with and what we want to hold on when it comes to the flexible leadership. What's the essence of that? And especially during this time of changes. Like many people, I believe the strategy of changes is actually your non-changing core, the things that you won't be so easily changed. When we talk about flexible leadership, many keywords come up, right? Quick response, adaptive, flexible, uncertainties, all the unpredictable circumstances, and yes, decision makings around changes. So for sure, thinking about nowadays, it is amazing how everything is so easily to connect, right? The whole world is connected, just like now, how you are watching me talking, or later you watch the playback, probably you are from the other side of the world, right? So different industries and people also could connect and co-create something so quick. The information is shared much faster and wider and broader. And it also brings us some more unpredictable situations, because there are always too many, sometimes way too many aspects involved over various different period of time or space. And that's what I mean about the everything and everyone is evolving constantly. In this time of changes, being flexible and adaptive have becoming an essential part of leadership. So when I talk with leaders, some people may feel insecure actually about being flexible because they feel like you are not grounded, feel like you don't have full control of the situation, what's happening now or what is going to happen. But I would say it is not about losing your own base. It is not about floating around. Actually, it is about being in the flow. As long as you know what are the things that you are not going to change so easily, right? The non-changing part. And actually, those are the foundation and the support that gives you the confidence, the capacity, and the capability to be flexible, especially during the time of changes. What could be the core here, the non-changing core here? The first one, your values and the principles. From a company's culture, vision, value, to simply an individual, a professional individual's belief or faith in their core values, how they walk the talk. This may seem like a vague or abstract word. You may see that on the resume, on the introduction page of a company, or in a company's slogan, right? But actually, many times when it's come to the end, they are the key factors for the final decision making. The principles could be a company culture, like I said, or sometimes could be just the nature of an industry or of a field or of a country and nationality. The second core here is the priority setting. There will be always more opportunities or more challenges, difficulties present, right? Sometimes we are aware we can forecast, but sometimes we cannot predict. There are always many people or aspects may be affected by your decision. You may want to be flexible because you want to be fair to everyone, to everything. But understanding what is your top priority within a certain period of time or environment is crucial here, because you cannot do everything at the same time with the same allocation of the resources. In other words, you also cannot please everyone or meet everyone's expectation at the same time. So having this priority setting in your mind can help you to decide how much flexibility you want to have in this moment. And also kind of give you a relief to relax a bit, because you understand saying no to something now doesn't mean forever. Fun fact, the priority itself actually changing and evolving as well. But the mindset of priority setting is non-changing. The third core non-changing thing is balance and the leverage. Being flexible could be adventurous, could be risky sometimes, but it's never about putting all your eggs in the same basket. It's not a polarized action. So keep that balance in mind and leverage the resources you could have used is something where you could start with, right? So if you cannot be flexible with this one in this moment, what could be another way around? Or what could be other resources to compensate this? After talking so much about the non-changing part, how about the flexible part? I remember today my subject is actually about the flexible leadership, right? How to be flexible. And what can we be flexible with? The approaches, how to be flexible, how to do things, what to do, and who to do the things with. You may not be able to predict everything, but you can prepare yourself on the growth mindset, the self-awareness, holistic thinking, different tools, resources, network, support system, right? All these will help you to explore the possibilities of flexible leadership. One example here, actually, this is the recent topic on the different companies' decision or policies around work from home or back to office. So in the past 2 to 3 years, the pandemic had developed and evolved in different ways and at different paces. It also means it affects people's career and the professional, even personal life in different ways. And now with more and more opening up globally and back to business, right? We know we don't have this one universal solution for this work location decision that can apply to every moment, every country, every company, and every employee. So for example, some fellow coaches I've been talking with, and also some executives who are based in the US, they were sharing with me, actually, there are lots of discussions about the difficulties of going back to the office. Various reasons of why people prefer not to go back, or prefer not to go back to the old norm, like 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. For example, the concern for the safety, for the health. All after 2 years experiment of the work from home, people find it actually more productive. old people's change of lifestyle and work style over the past 2 years, and also their change and evolving, continuous evolving perspectives of how they see their career in their life. What's the work-life balance mean? How they want to spend their time. So that's what's happening partially in the US. And here in Europe, actually the concept of 4-day week become kind of new norm, new popular topic concept here. It is strongly encouraged, and actually many countries started to experimenting this concept to have only 4 working days in a week. And even in some countries, you may heard it's already legalized, right? Like in very popular in many countries like Iceland, Sweden, Belgium, UK, etc. Also in Berlin, where I am living now, there are many startup companies or small, medium-sized companies. They adapt to this hybrid work. So they give their employees different levels of flexibilities of choosing their own work location and even work hours sometimes. Of course, there are always different voices about this, like everywhere, people have different opinions. And now we switch to Asia. I'm originally from China. Even nowadays, I still work with some people based in China. So when talking with people there in China, we still have relatively strict views, restrictions with the pandemic, right? The situation. So many people, they have to work from home, or they have to turn their business trip to the virtual meetings. Clients meeting turn into a Zoom meeting or Tencent meeting, Google Meet. So there are many people I talked with, actually, they expressed it's getting very challenging for them. And they are hoping that they can get back to the office very soon. Because how the business is done there many times is based on the relationship building, and the face-to-face communication just makes more sense. And also, of course, in big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, it's not everyone can have such a professional workspace at home. So we can see it's the same pandemic, right? But it's somehow so different, even sometimes opposite situation. So this comes to the time for the flexible leadership. Among the different approaches and effort, a company's decision can definitely reflect that company or the leader's value, culture, priority, or leverage between different decision-making factors. So for example, are they more people-centered, or are they more profit or productivity driven, right? Or are they more result focused? How important really the DEI is in their company, right? The diversity, equality, and inclusion. And how innovation and the creativity are encouraged. How truly flexible they are. And are their decision making more influenced by human connection, humanity, or by data, etc. To be honest, I especially find it very inspiring that some multinational companies, they try to adapt different policies or approaches among their different regions, their different offices, or different functions based on their situation and the nature of their work, while maintaining the equity within the same organization. To be honest, it's really not easy. It's not easy at all to balance between the individual and the company while pursuing the organizational goal. And trying to be adaptive and flexible while being consistent on the important principles. Many times I like to use the metaphor of the sailing boat for the flexible leadership. Right, the ocean is giant, it's powerful, it's full of the excitement and possibilities to take you to different continent or to whatever you want to be, right? Although you cannot forecast everything when you are on the ocean. So, but what you can have is a well-built boat and your knowledge of how to harness the power of the wind and propel the vessels. And those could be the changes. Right, the changes could be the wind or could be a vessel. And that's how I see flexible leadership. What do you think? Let me see. I see Pedro. Yeah, Pedro, I remember Pedro, actually he is studying in Chinese. He can speak some Chinese, so actually he read Chinese comments here. And he's from Portugal and knows some Chinese and worked in Shanghai. Great to see you, Pedro. Yeah. So with that being said, also we come to the end of my sharing today. Thank you for being here with my LinkedIn Live series. We have a saying in Chinese. Like I said, every Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Europe time, I come up live. And even you cannot make it on time, make sure to sign up the event so later you can have the playback available in your LinkedIn feed. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next week.